Hey, and welcome back to the Natural English Podcast. I am Alex, and I am here with Sarah.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope you are doing okay, wherever you are listening from.
New Year can feel a little strange, right? Some people feel very excited. Some feel tired. And some feel a bit nervous about their goals. How about you? Right now, do you feel excited, tired, or maybe a little stressed about the new year? Just notice your answer in your head.
Yeah, and also, do you usually keep your New Year resolutions, or do they disappear after a few weeks? Be honest with yourself for a moment.
In this episode, we want to make things simple. We will talk about just one big New Year goal, not 10 goals, not a huge list, just one clear thing. And we will show you how to talk about it in natural English.
Because many people, including me, make too many resolutions, and then after a few weeks, they feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means your brain is too full, there is too much to do, and you do not know where to start. For example, I make a list with 10 goals, and after 1 week, I think, this is too much, I cannot do it all, and I feel overwhelmed.
So, here is a little listening challenge for you. In this episode, listen carefully for the word overwhelmed and try to answer this question in your mind. What is Sarah's one big New Year goal? At the end of the episode, you can check if you were right.
And do not worry, this is not a perfect social media story. I will share my real goal and also a couple of funny mistake stories, so it feels real, like normal life.
Our focus today is your everyday conversation skills. By the end of this episode, you should be able to say your main goal, explain why it matters to you, and say what steps you will take, all in clear, natural English, at a speed you can follow.
We will move slowly, we will repeat some useful phrases, and you will have small moments to pause and say things out loud. So you are not just listening, you are really practicing.
One more word that might help here is guilty. Guilty is that heavy feeling when you think, I am bad because I did not do what I promised. For example, I say I will run every day in January, but by the 10th of January, I stop, and then I feel guilty.
Yeah, and this time, we want less feeling guilty and more feeling calm and clear. We will not make you a new person in one day. We just want to help you talk about one real goal in a stronger, more natural way.
We will start from simple B1 style sentences, like, my goal is to exercise more, and we will gently move toward more natural B2 style explanations, like, my main goal this year is to exercise regularly because I want to feel healthier and have more energy for work. We will do it step by step, without a big grammar lesson.
So, take a breath for a second. Maybe think quietly. If you could choose only one big goal for this year, just one, what would it be? You do not need the perfect words yet. Just have the idea in your mind.
Okay, enough talking around the topic. Let us choose one real goal and look at the key words and phrases you need. So Sarah, what is your one big New Year goal this year? So Sarah, in this episode, we said we want to choose just one big New Year goal, right?
Yeah, just one. Not 10 goals. Not a huge list. One clear thing to focus on.
Okay, so what is your one big goal this year? The main one.
My main goal this year is to get into a regular exercise routine. So, not just exercise 1 week and then stop. I want it to be part of my normal life.
A regular routine. I like that. And you really chose just this one?
Yes, because when I have too many goals, I feel kind of overwhelmed. It is like there is so much to do, and then I do nothing. So this year, I want one big, clear goal.
Right, so you are cutting the list down. Why is this goal, this exercise routine, so important for you now?
Because I feel better when I move my body. I sleep better, I have more energy, and honestly, I sat at my desk a lot last year. So this year, I really want to change that habit.
Got it. And what made you choose this instead of, I do not know, studying something or saving money?
I feel like if my body feels good, everything else is easier. Work is easier, learning is easier. So I chose this one first. Other goals can wait a bit.
That makes sense. Okay, so now, for our listeners, can we look at some useful phrases to talk about one big goal?
Yeah, let us build a little phrase bank. Simple, clear sentences you can copy and use.
Perfect. What is the first pattern?
The first one is, my main goal this year is, and then your goal. For example, my main goal this year is to get into a regular exercise routine. It is very clear. You are saying, this is number one for me.
So it is like you are telling your friend, this is my top goal. My main goal this year is to pass the IELTS exam, for example.
Exactly. The second phrase is, I really want to focus on something. For example, I really want to focus on building a healthy exercise routine. Focus on means you put your time and energy there, not everywhere.
So if I say, I really want to focus on my English speaking this year, it means this is where my attention goes. I am not trying to do everything at the same time.
Yes, it sounds active, but still a bit soft and friendly, not too strong.
Okay, what is a stronger one then?
A stronger one is, one thing I am determined to do this year is, and then your goal. For example, one thing I am determined to do this year is exercise at least 3 times a week. Determined to is a strong word. It means I am very serious. I will really try. I do not want to give up.
So, I am determined to means you are very serious and you really, really want to do it, right? Stronger than I would like to.
Yes. If I say I would like to exercise more, that is nice, but it sounds soft. If I say I am determined to exercise more, it sounds like a promise to myself.
Nice. Could we add one more way to talk about choosing only one big goal?
Sure. You can say, this year I am going to focus on just one big goal, and then explain it. For example, this year I am going to focus on just one big goal, getting into a regular exercise routine. Just one big goal shows you are keeping it simple.
Good. Now maybe some useful describing words, some adjectives for goals.
Yeah. One very useful word is realistic. Realistic means it is possible for you in your real life, not a dream from a movie. For example, it is realistic for me to exercise 3 times a week, but not every single day.
So a realistic goal fits your life. It is not crazy, like it is not realistic for me to study English 8 hours every day.
Exactly. Another good word is specific. Specific means clear and detailed, not general. For example, a specific goal is, I want to exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times a week. A non-specific goal is just, I want to exercise more.
So specific is like clear numbers, clear actions, not just a big idea.
Yes, and one more word is achievable. Achievable means you can actually do it. It is not impossible. So I can say, my goal is achievable because I only need 30 minutes, 3 times a week. That is possible for me.
Right, so realistic, specific, achievable. These help you check your goal, not just say it.
Yeah, they help you choose a smart goal, not just a beautiful sentence.
Okay, now, Let us do our little robot versus natural moment. I will be the robot student.
All right, I am ready. Robot Alex, go ahead.
My New Year resolution is to improve my body condition very much.
Okay, I know what you mean, but it sounds a bit textbook. A more natural way is, my goal this year is to get in better shape, or my main goal this year is to get in better shape. Get in better shape is what we usually say, not improve my body condition.
Get in better shape. Yeah, that sounds like something a friend would say in real life.
Exactly. And the grammar is simpler too. My goal this year is to get in better shape. Easy, natural, modern.
Okay, one more robot sentence. Let us try. I wish to obtain a higher level of English this year.
Yeah, that sounds very formal. Obtain a higher level is something you might see in a report, not in a coffee shop. A natural version is, I really want to take my English to the next level this year. Or, one thing I am determined to do this year is take my English to the next level.
Take my English to the next level. That is much more conversational. So listeners, do not worry if your sentences sound a bit robotic now.
Yeah, step by step, you can copy these natural patterns. Over time, they will start to feel normal when you speak.
So in this chapter, we learned how to say our big goal in a natural way. For example, my main goal this year is, I really want to focus on. And one thing I am determined to do this year is.
You can mix those with words like realistic, specific, and achievable to talk about why your goal is a good one for you.
Okay, now we know how to say our goal. But one big problem is, we often choose goals that are too big or too vague, right? Sarah, have you ever chosen a goal that sounded good but was impossible to follow?
Oh yes, I have a few of those. In the next part, I will share one small fail story, and we will look at how to turn a big, vague goal into clear steps you can really do.
So, Sarah, in the last part, you told us your big goal for this year. But before we make it clear and realistic, I want to talk about when goals go wrong. Have you ever had a New Year goal that was just too big or too vague?
Oh yes, many times. One really clear example. A few years ago, I said very proudly, this year I will become super healthy. And it sounded amazing, right? But honestly, it did not mean anything. Super healthy. What is that? After maybe 3 weeks, I went back to eating junk food, not moving my body, and I just felt bad about myself.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It sounds powerful, but it is so cloudy, not clear at all.
Exactly. And I think many of our listeners do the same thing. We say, I will be healthy, or I will be productive, or I will improve my English, but our brain is like, okay, but what do you actually want me to do today? And because it is not clear, we slowly stop.
Right. I did almost the same thing with language learning. I told myself very seriously, I will study Japanese every single day for 2 hours, no excuses. And yeah, I quit after 1 week. I was so tired, I felt guilty, and then I did nothing.
2 hours every day is really huge. That is a classic example of a goal that is too ambitious. Ambitious means you want to do something big and difficult. Being ambitious is great, but if the goal is too big, it is not realistic, and then it dies very fast.
Yeah, my goal, I think, was kind of a robot sentence, not a human sentence. So how can we turn those big, dreamy ideas into something more human and possible?
Okay, so let us start with my old goal. Before, I said, I will become super healthy. That was the dream. Now I want to make it clear and real. I like to use this structure instead of, I am going to. So I can say, instead of saying I will get super healthy, I am going to start with one clear habit. For example, I am going to exercise for 20 minutes 3 times a week.
So you use instead of to show the change from the old style to the new style. Old version, new version.
Yes, exactly. It is very natural. We do this all the time in daily life. For example, instead of scrolling on my phone at night, I'm going to read for 10 minutes. The phrase instead of is very useful when you talk about changing a habit.
Nice. I noticed you also said, I am going to start with one clear habit. You did not say, I will change my whole life.
Yeah, because one clear habit feels possible. And I also like 2 other phrases. I have decided to, and I am planning to. They sound a little different. I have decided to is stronger. It means I thought about it, and now my choice is made. For example, I have decided to exercise for 20 minutes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So when you say I have decided to, you sound more sure. Like the decision is finished, it is done.
Yes, and I am planning to is a bit softer. It is like, this is my idea, this is my plan, but maybe it can change. For example, I am planning to go to the gym near my office, but if it is too crowded, I might change to home workouts.
So, quick question, because I think many listeners wonder about this. What is the difference in real life between I have decided to and I am planning to?
Good point. In real conversation, I have decided to feels more final. You are almost telling yourself, this is happening. I am planning to feels more flexible, more open. For example, I have decided to stop drinking soda. That sounds like a strong rule. But I am planning to drink less soda this year. Sounds like a goal, but you know it is not 100% fixed.
That makes sense. One is like, yes, I am doing this. The other is, this is my idea, but we will see.
Exactly. And we can also talk about what is ideal and what is realistic. There is a nice word for that. Ideally. Ideally means in a perfect world. But we can also say realistically to show what is actually possible in our real life, with our real energy and time.
Can you give an example with those two? Ideally and realistically.
Sure. Using my exercise goal, I can say, ideally, I would like to exercise every day. That is the dream version. Then I add, but realistically, 3 times a week is achievable for me. Achievable just means I really can do it. It is possible with my normal life.
I like that. You are honest about your life, not just your dream. And when you say realistically, it sounds very natural, very grown up.
Yeah, and that kind of honest language is really important. We can also use phrases like, to be honest, I know I will be busy in March, or I will probably be tired after work, or I am not sure I can do more than 20 minutes, but I will try. These little phrases make your goal sound human, not perfect.
So, it is okay to say, I have limits. I will probably be tired. I will be busy. You can put that inside the goal sentence.
Yes, it is totally okay. Let me put everything together with my health example. I could say, instead of saying I will become super healthy, I have decided to start with one habit. Ideally, I would like to exercise every day, but realistically, I can do 20 minutes, 3 times a week. To be honest, I know I will be tired after work, so I am planning to exercise in the morning.
That sounds so much clearer. I can really see your week now. Before, it was just be healthy. Now, it is like a simple map.
Exactly. And we can do the same thing with your old Japanese goal. Before you said, I will study Japanese every single day for 2 hours. No excuses. Very strong, but not realistic for your life.
Yeah, that was my robot voice. So how can we turn it into something more realistic and more natural English?
Okay, let us fix it. First, I want to make it smaller and more specific. I might say, I have decided to study Japanese for 15 minutes before bed on weekdays. That already feels easier. It is clear when, how long, and how often.
Yeah, 15 minutes sounds almost friendly. 2 hours sounded like punishment.
Exactly. And we can still use ideally and realistically. For example, ideally, I would love to study for 1 hour, but realistically, 15 minutes before bed is more sustainable for me on weekdays. Sustainable means you can keep doing it for a long time without burning out.
And we can also be honest about limits, right? Maybe something like, to be honest, I will probably feel lazy on Fridays, so I am planning to skip Japanese that day and just study from Monday to Thursday.
Yes, that is a great example. You see, you are not saying, I will do everything every day forever. You are saying, here is what I can really do. And that kind of clear, realistic sentence is much easier to follow in real life.
So, we have taken your big goal and made it more realistic and clear. And we did the same with my Japanese goal too.
Yeah, and now our listeners can do this with their own goals as well.
Now, it is your turn. Let us help you talk through your own goal, step by step. In the next part, we will guide you with some simple speaking practice, and we will leave pauses so you can repeat and personalize the sentences.
Okay, Alex, let us move into that practice and give people time to speak out loud.
Okay, now we're going to slow down, and this part is for you, for your voice. We'll do a little guided speaking practice about your big New Year goal.
And remember, it does not need to be perfect. Simple English is totally fine. You just need something clear that feels true for you.
We'll do 3 small steps. First, say your goal. Second, say why it matters to you. And third, say 1 or 2 small, concrete steps. Concrete just means very clear and practical, like something you can actually do tomorrow.
Yeah, not a dream like, I want to be perfect, but something like, I want to read 1 book in English every month. That kind of clear step.
All right, step 1, say your goal. I'll ask Sarah first so you can hear an example. Then, it's your turn. So Sarah, can you say your main goal for this year?
Sure, I'll use an English goal, because maybe it's close to your goal too. Listen to me first. My main goal this year is to feel more confident when I speak English with new people.
Nice. So the pattern is, my main goal this year is to, and then you finish the sentence. I'll say it once, slowly. Then you repeat and change it for your life.
Okay, listen, my main goal this year is to improve my English speaking, especially in real conversations.
Good. Now you try. Say this pattern out loud. My main goal this year is to, and then finish it with your own goal. It can be about English, health, work, study, anything. Ready? Go ahead. Speak now. My main goal this year is to...
And if you're not sure about your goal yet, you can say, I'm still thinking about my main goal, but I'd like to, and then add 1 small idea.
Yeah, nice support phrase. Let's give you time to say that too, if you need it. Say, I'm still thinking about my main goal, but I'd like to. And finish with something you might want. Ready? Try it now. Try.
Great, just moving your mouth, making the sounds. That already helps your English. Okay, now step 2. Why is this goal important for you?
We'll use the pattern. This goal is important for me because... And then you give your reason. Sarah, can you give 1 or 2 examples first?
Yeah, listen to this one. This goal is important for me because I want to enjoy conversations without feeling nervous all the time. And another example. This goal is important for me because it will help me in my job and my future.
So you hear the pattern. This goal is important for me because... and then the reason. Maybe because I want to be healthier, or because I want more time with my family, or because I want to feel proud of myself.
All right, your turn now. Say it out loud. This goal is important for me because... And then give one reason. It can be short, just one clear idea. Ready? Say it now.
If you want to add a second reason, you can use this little word, also. For example, this goal is important for me because I want to feel healthier. Also, I want to have more energy for my kids.
Yeah, that word, also, just means you're adding more. Let's give you a moment. If you like, you can add a second reason now. Start with also, and then say one more reason. Go ahead, try it.
Good. Remember, your answer can be really simple. Even just, this goal is important for me because it makes me happy. That's enough. You don't need a long speech.
Okay, step 3 now. Let's talk about your first small steps. What are you actually going to do? Not just the idea, but the action.
We'll use a few useful patterns. I've decided to, I'm planning to, and at least something. At least means minimum, not less than that. For example, at least 3 times a week.
I'll give you my own example first. Listen, I've decided to join an online English group this month. I'm planning to speak in the group at least 2 times a week.
Nice. So her first sentence was, I've decided to join an online English group this month. Let's let you try that pattern. I've decided to, and then say one clear action. Like, I've decided to walk more, or I've decided to read every night.
All right, your turn. Say it out loud. I've decided to, and finish with your own action. One small, real thing. Ready? Go.
Good. Now the second pattern. I'm planning to. This is for something you want to do regularly, like, I'm planning to study English for 20 minutes after dinner.
I'll add one more example. I'm planning to go to the gym with my friend, so it's easier to continue. You can hear it's about the future, a plan, not just a dream.
Now it's your turn. Say, I'm planning to, and add your own plan. Maybe it's about food, sleep, study, money, anything. Say it out loud now. I'm planning to.
Great. Now let's use that little phrase, at least. For example, at least 3 times a week, or at least 15 minutes a day. It gives your goal a clear minimum.
Let's connect it to your plan. Listen, I'm planning to read in English at least 10 minutes a day, or I'm planning to exercise at least 3 times a week.
Now you try. Think about how often you want to do your action. Then say a sentence like, I'm planning to, plus your action, at least, and then how often. For example, I'm planning to practice guitar at least 20 minutes a day.
Okay, your turn. Take a breath, then say it. I'm planning to, your action, at least, and your number. Go ahead, speak now.
Nice. And remember, it's totally okay if your sentence is simple. Something like, I want to read more books in English this year is already really good, natural English.
Yeah. And if your sentence was a bit strange, that's also okay. Imagine someone says, my goal is to diet hardly. That sounds a little textbook and not natural.
Right. A more natural way would be, my goal is to eat more healthily, or I want to go on a diet and eat less junk food. See, same idea, just softer and more natural.
So do not worry if your English is not perfect. The important thing is, you said something. You used your voice. You talked about your own real life.
Let's just quickly repeat the 3 key patterns you used. You don't have to say them now. Just listen. My main goal this year is to, this goal is important for me because, and I'm planning to, at least.
Nice work. You've just talked through your goal, why it matters, and your first steps. In real life, though, we don't only talk about perfect plans. We also talk about problems, right? Things that might stop us.
Yeah, like feeling tired or busy or maybe losing motivation after a few weeks.
Exactly. So next, let's look at that side. What could get in the way of your goal this year? So Sarah, we talked about your big goal and your steps. Now I am curious, what might stop you? What could go wrong for you in real life?
Yeah, that is the real question, right? Okay, to be honest, the biggest problem for me is I tend to say yes to everything at work. If someone asks me, "Can you help with this? Can you do that?" I usually say, "Sure, no problem." And then I get home late, I feel tired, and I skip exercise.
I see. So the issue is not your goal. It is your energy and your time.
Exactly. I know from experience that when I have a busy week, I just drop my plan. I say to myself, I will go to the gym tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week, and then never.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar. I did that once. I signed up for a gym for 1 year. I paid for the whole year, and I went 3 times. 3 times.
3 times in 1 year? Oh, wow. That is a very expensive memory.
Yeah, my most expensive mistake. So I know this pattern too. I get excited, I plan a lot, and then real life comes in. So, what are you worried about this time with your goal?
I am worried that I will do the same thing, that I will have a strong start in January, and then in February, when work gets crazy, I will just stop. And then I will feel bad, so I will avoid it even more.
Right, that kind of shame spiral. You feel bad, so you do less, and then you feel worse.
Yes, exactly. So I want to think about this in a more gentle way. Like, okay, problems will come. That is normal. I cannot be perfect. But maybe I can plan some small solutions.
Yeah, I like that. So, talk through it. How can you say your problem and your solution in simple, everyday English?
Okay, so one useful pattern is this. You can say, the biggest problem for me is, and then add your real problem. For me, I would say, the biggest problem for me is that I tend to work too late, and then I am too tired to exercise.
Nice. And when you say I tend to, you mean this is my usual habit, right?
Yes, exactly. I tend to means this is something I usually do, this is my pattern. For example, I tend to check my phone before bed, or I tend to drink coffee in the afternoon.
Great. So that is the problem. How do you add a small solution?
You can use this phrase, one way I can deal with this is, and then say one small thing you can try. So for me, one way I can deal with this is to exercise in the morning before work, 2 days a week.
So you are changing the time to protect your energy.
Yeah. If I move it to the morning, I do it before my energy is gone. So I can say, to be honest, I usually skip exercise when I'm tired after work. One way I can deal with this is to do a short workout in the morning instead.
I like that you said short workout. That sounds realistic, not perfect.
Yeah, realistic is important. Another useful pattern is, I am going to try to, instead of. So I could say, I am going to try to block my exercise time in my calendar instead of just hoping I have time.
Nice. And block here means you put it in your calendar so that time is protected, right?
Yes. To block time means I choose that time, and I do not put other things there. For example, I block 30 minutes after lunch for a walk, or I block Sunday morning for language study.
Okay, I want to ask like a friend now. What will you do if you miss a week? If you have a crazy week at work and you do 0 exercise?
Yeah, good question. I think this is really important. So if I fall behind, I will just start again the next day. That is my rule. No big drama, no big story in my head. I just say, okay, I missed it. I will do 10 minutes tomorrow.
So, if I fall behind, I will. And then a simple action. That is a nice pattern.
Yeah, and I want some support too. So I will also say, I will ask a friend to check on me once a week. Just a quick message like, hey, did you move your body this week?
I like that. A friendly check. Not pressure, just support.
Exactly. So let us turn this to you, listening right now. Think about your big goal. Now think, what is the biggest problem for you? Is it time, energy, money, fear, something else?
Yeah, and you do not have to say it out loud yet. You can just think it in your head. I will give you a pattern. You can start with, the biggest problem for me is...
Okay, now quietly in your mind, finish this sentence. The biggest problem for me is... and add your real problem. We will pause for a moment.
Bye.
All right, now let us add one small solution. Just one. Use this pattern. One way I can deal with this is...
Take a moment now. In your head or in a whisper, say it. One way I can deal with this is... and then your idea.
Maybe so.
And now, one more. Think about what happens if you fall behind. Maybe you are sick or busy or just tired. How will you restart?
You can use this pattern. If I fall behind, I will... and then say one small kind action. For example, if I fall behind, I will just start again on Monday. Or if I fall behind, I will do a very easy version of my goal.
Okay, your turn. In your mind, finish this sentence. If I fall behind, I will... Nice. And remember, even if you only thought these sentences quietly, you are still practicing English. You are building real sentences about your real life.
Yeah, and you can say them out loud later, or write them in a notebook, or send them to a friend. You already did the hard part. You connected your goal, your problems, and your solutions.
We have covered a lot. Your goal, your steps, and your challenges. In the next and final chapter, we will quickly review the main phrases, and we will check the answer to the listening challenge from the beginning, the keyword, and Sarah's goal. So, before we say goodbye today, let's do a very quick review. Today we stayed with just one thing, one big New Year goal. You practiced how to introduce that goal, how to explain why it matters to you, how to make it realistic, and how to talk about problems and possible solutions. All of that in clear, simple English.
Right. And I want to repeat just a few sentence starters. First, for introducing your goal, you can say, my main goal this year is, or I really want to focus on. Then, to make it realistic, you can use, I have decided to, or realistically, I can.
And when you talk about problems and solutions, you can say, the biggest problem for me is, and then, one way I can deal with this is, by the way, to deal with. Just means to manage something, to handle it. For example, I feel stressed, so one way I deal with it is, I go for a short walk.
Exactly. So you have a small set of really useful patterns now. You can mix them. You can change them a little. But the idea is clear. One main goal, why it matters, what you can really do, and how you will deal with problems.
Okay, let's go back to the listening challenge from the beginning of the episode. Do you remember the special word? Maybe you guessed it, maybe not. The word was overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed. So this word means you feel there is too much, too many tasks, too many goals, too many things in your head. You feel you cannot handle everything. You feel kind of lost under all the plans. For example, I wrote 20 New Year resolutions and now I feel overwhelmed.
And that is why we focused on one big goal, so you do not feel overwhelmed. You feel a bit more calm, a bit more clear. Now, do you remember Sarah's one big New Year goal from Chapter 1?
Let me say it again, slowly. My main goal this year is to move my body more and sit less. So, I want to build a simple exercise habit I can actually keep. You can check. Is that what you remembered?
If you got it, nice job. If you did not, that is also okay. You can always listen again. Now, before we finish, let's connect this to your real life. Just 2 small homework ideas.
Here's the first one. Tonight, tell a friend or a family member about your one big New Year goal in English. You can use at least one sentence starter from today. For example, my main goal this year is, or the biggest problem for me is.
And the second idea, you can write. In a notebook or in your phone, write 3 small parts. Number 1, your goal. Number 2, why it matters to you. Number 3, your first 1 or 2 steps. Keep it short. Keep it simple. Just use the phrases from this episode.
And if you want extra practice, you can replay the guided practice part of this episode. Maybe once a week. Speak with us. Out loud if you can. Notice if your goal changes a little. Notice if your sentences feel easier or more natural over time.
As we finish, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving us your time. And thank you for working on your English and your life goals. At the same time, that is not easy, but you are doing it.
And remember, it is okay if your goal changes. It is okay if you make mistakes in English. Language learning is a long journey. Life goals are also a long journey. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to keep going, step by step.
So, from both of us, thank you for listening to the Natural English Podcast today. I am Alex, and this is Sarah. Take care, keep practicing, and we hope you will join us again in the next episode. Bye for now.